Hey guys, what's going on here? I have to apologize because I'm the video today, but I'm writing my history final project already. It's not due until December, but um, I would like to get it done anyways, and I like to see myself talking while reading it. So here, please. Uh, the tensions between Arabs and Israelis has been rising for a while since the 19th century. There's been constant debates on who owns land, and in cases it became very violent. Zionism, the organization to establish a Jewish state, was created in 1886. Due to the violence between the Arabs and Jews, Great Britain gained control of the land from 1917 to 1948 after the fall of the Ottoman Empire. There has been multiple plans to help ensure peace in Israelis and Palestinians. In 1947, the UN had made the partition plan, in which about 55% to 60% would have gone to the Jews and 45 to 40% to the Arabs, and Jerusalem was considered as an international zone. The problem with the plan was that anyone in southwestern Jerusalem would have been separated, so Palestinians who lived in those areas would have crossed over into Israel to get to the other side of Palestine, and the Jews would have crossed into Palestine to get to Jerusalem. On May 14th, 1948, Israel had declared the independence in the city of Tel Aviv. The United States had recognized the newly country only 11 minutes after the declaration of Israel. The next day, after Great Britain left, five countries attacked Israel, including Egypt, Lebanon, Jordan, Iraq, and Syria. A group of pilots, a group of American pilots from World War II flew 11.5 hours to fly to Israel. There were multiple risks, and which considered of losing citizenship or being thrown in jail. There were no airports, so they had to make a small landing strip in the fields. It took $175,000 to make and purchase planes. The pilots called more Americans to help train Jewish fighters to make the Air Force. The Jews had limitations of weapons and ammo, and they had no vehicles to protect themselves from heavily armed tanks and other military vehicles. They had to be smuggled so they could survive. David Mickey Marcus has been or was asked to help join the Israel military around 2 or 3 years after World War II. He was skeptical of joining, but he knew what he had to do. Due to limitations on Jewish travel, he had to sneak into the country by giving a fake ID. Even though that he was an American Jew, he did not speak Hebrew. And to quickly learn the Israeli tactics through his honorable services, he was promoted to be first general of the Israel Defense Forces. Some of his missions, including a raid on the Arab oil supply and building a road on mountaintops to bring supplies to Jerusalem and to break the Arab siege of the city. A few hours before the ceasefire took effect on June 11th, Marcus was shot shortly before 4 a.m. Linsky, an Israeli guard, said they had seen a figure in white. He had approached Marcus and shot him. The reason for that is because Marcus did not give the password, which is because he did not understand Hebrew. On March 10th, 1949, the Independent War had ended. The Jews, who had a population over 700,000, managed to survive against over 10 million Arabs. Without the American presence, it would have been possible that Israel would have not survived and many more Jews would have been killed or exiled.